Hey all you crazy kooky cats out there, welcome back. Thanks for joining us on our third lesson in our How to Draw series. Today we're going to introduce the concept of line weight, which is going to build on our already mastery of circles and those three types of lines. If you haven't seen those videos already, I'll put the links in the description for you. I suggest watching those first and coming back, because we're going to be kind of progressively building upon foundational skills and working on things a little bit more. So yeah, today's line weight, and line weight is basically varying the thickness of your lines to represent different edges to objects. For example, a thin line might represent something that is stretching or in tension, or perhaps something that's further off in the distance, while a thick line is generally something that's contracting or maybe in the foreground. Understanding how to use your line weights is going to add a sense of dimension and depth to your work, and maybe a little realism as well. So I'm going to try and demonstrate as much as I can up here, introduce some practice exercises for you, and we're just going to keep building upon what we learn in these lessons. So grab your gear and let's get started. This first exercise, I'm just going to start simply, and it's similar to one we've already done before, and we're going to put a straight line across the page. So this is kind of what we were doing before, doing parallel lines. This time what I want you to do is add a soft line, gradually increasing the thickness as you go across the page. Okay, so that's a gradual increase of thickness across the page. You can reverse it, you can start thicker and go thinner. You can also change how gradual this is as a kind of variation on the exercise. You can be a little more abrupt. And you can also kind of play with how those alternate between the parallel lines. So I'm going to try to go thin here and thick there, and thin, and then thick, thin, thick, thin, thick. So all this is going to build your precision, your muscle memory, being able to control when you want a thick line, when you want a thin line. So thick, thick. Oops. Anyway, yeah. So there's these types of parallel line exercises you can do. You can also work with shapes. So for instance, we've already mastered the circle, right? Or we continue to master the circle. So here's our circle, but let's try making one side a little thicker than the other and making the other side softer. We can maybe even do two sides thick, thin, thick, thin. And that, I mean, you can try different shapes. Thin, thick, thick, thin, and thick, thin. And just kind of play around with different lines, different shapes. And finally, I guess, if you wanted, you can move into shapes with more form, like cubes and spheres. So let's draw a cube. And have relatively thick lines facing us. And I'm going to go thick to thin as it goes back off into the distance. See that? Thick and then thin. Do the same here. One more time. And then we'll have thin lines in the back. So already you can see with just a simple shape how varying the thickness of your lines is going to add a sense of depth and dimension to your artwork. So that's all for today. Quick lesson. I want you to practice as much as you can. And next time, our next lesson, we're going to be talking more about these 3D shapes. We're going to introduce the concept of perspective and trying to integrate all the things we've been learning so far. So yeah, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this lesson, I hope you Share it with your friends, maybe leave it a like. And if you have any questions or anything, you can leave them in the comments below. I'm, yeah, just super excited to be joining you guys on this journey. So I hope you stick with it. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.